You don't need an expensive Skydio drone to capture amazing footage on your adventures. Yes, sure, it might follow you around the bush like a loyal puppy. However, for most of us who can't afford that commercial level style equipment, I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that I use to capture these footage using a typical drone. One of the simplest, most effective shots is actually getting the drone to stay and then you ride up to it. Just fly the drone up ahead, line up your shot, and then let the action come to it. Another great way to use your drone is setting the scene or transitioning between shots. A smooth ascent or descent as you pull into a new location gives viewers a sense of the journey and where you are. And a little pro tip, stick with the movement. Don't change direction halfway through the shot. Even if it's not perfectly framed, that will still look better than changing directions halfway through the shot. You don't have to use the DJI app that came with the drone. There's an app called Lychee, which I use for my follow modes when I want to go beyond static shots. Unlike DJI's Active Track, which relies on the visual tracking, Lychee uses a GPS of your mobile device connected to the remote. This means that you can move faster without worrying about the drone losing you when you disappear behind trees or rocks. Follow mode. You can set your settings, so you go set from aircraft position. So now it's saying at an altitude of 80 meters, at a distance of 80 meters. So I hit start. So it's got record over on the left here, but on the right it's not recording. You've got to remember to hit record.
Recording started.
Now I can throw that back into there.
80 meters altitude.
It's up high enough that it's above everything, because I've already checked that. Well, this is really sandy. Right, it can only go so fast, the drone. Typically it's going to go slower than you can go on a bike, but the cool thing about this app is you can out accelerate it and it will still follow you and catch up. There is, however, a few settings that you should be aware of. One thing to be mindful of is that you've got to force quit the DJI app if you're using the Lychee app. Right, so we just flick that away. A couple of settings that are worth knowing. Go home altitude, I've got that set to 80 meters. If you're riding along and you get too far away from it and it loses connection, particularly if the remote's in the tank bag and it can't make the connection, then it will fly back to the home point. Now you want the home point, you want this set high enough that it'll go above the trees to get to it. Lost signal behavior, return to home. Normally it sets its home point based on where it took off from, but if you're riding off in the distance, then you don't want it going back all the way back there. You want it to go to wherever you are. As soon as you see it not moving on the screen anymore, stop, and then it will fly to that position. Okay, another one here, cache videos, cache photos. So if you want to get some social shots, turn both those on, and so any photos and videos that it takes, it will download to your phone. I think that's only for iOS though. One last one, this one here, enable speech. You tick that on and it will talk to you.
80 meters altitude, 77 meters distance, 72% battery.
And so then there's a few options there. You can turn on what you want it to say, but it'll just give you that constant feedback as to what's happening. Now for actual follow, basically I usually position it somewhere that I like, and then I hit set from aircraft position. So the altitude and the distance will be set automatically. Setting to course means if you start going in a particular direction, it'll align to that direction. So it'll always remain relative to whatever direction you're going. Whereas if you've got it set to north, it means it'll fly in it relative to the direction of the compass instead, which I personally find a little more predictable and creates much better shots. Follow terrain, you want that enabled. If you go up a hill, you want it to go up as well. Horizontal movements, fly the drone up ahead, set that to disable, and it means that you can ride and it will keep you in the frame by moving, rotating, but it won't move back or forth, so it won't run into anything. Now the best thing is that with these techniques is you can get shots that are just as good, if not better than a Skydio drone at a fraction of the price. Remember, it's not about the gear, it's about the creativity behind it. And just remember, the best drone that you can have is the one that you bother to get out of the bag.